My name is Lawrence Dandridge, and I am the writer, composer, and director of Something Like a Fairy Tale. Something Like a Fairy Tale follows the story of a woman named Elise who has a daughter named Nicole, and she decides to tell her daughter the story of how she and her husband got together, and she decides to turn it into a fairy tale so the little girl can understand it better. In the fairy tale world, we meet a princess who is forced to make a decision between following through with an arranged marriage that her parents set up for her, or to follow her heart and be with the person that she's really in love with. The show deals with themes of peer pressure and friendship and parental guidance and divorce. I want people to be able to ask themselves what it is that they want out of love. A lot of times we watch movies and we get wrapped up in the idealist version of what it means to be in love. We all want to marry our high school sweetheart. We all want to live happily ever after, but it doesn't work that way in real life. And Something Like a Fairy Tale kind of really puts a microscope on that idea. And I think it's good for us as audience members and as people that come to find refuge in art to be able to hold a mirror up and ask ourselves these valuable questions. Our cast is made up of about 30 or so young adults, all of which are great friends and colleagues of mine. I opted out of having an open audition for this show because I know that I have a network of so many talented actors and singers that I wanted to include as many of my friends as possible in this show. I definitely wanted to create a family atmosphere with my cast, and I am so grateful to have them be able to breathe life into this show. They learned all of this music by ear because there's no sheet music yet. So that says a lot about their commitment level and their level of talent to be able to retain all of this gorgeous music that was fully produced by my music supervisor and producer, Shaquan Welsh. I really need people to see this story because I feel like fairy tales have created this idea in people's mind that it has to be a cookie cutter, whitewashed kind of show. And I think Something Like a Fairy Tale kind of breaks that stereotype. I thought it was very important to have an African-American royal family depicted in a show on stage. I think that it's important for young African-Americans and urban kids and people of color just across the board to have a point of reference to be able to see a strong character of color on stage and be able to say, I can also do that. That's somebody that I can relate to. And in fairy tales, we haven't really had the opportunity to see that. I mean, The Princess and the Frog kind of did that, but she spent most of the movie being a frog, so that really didn't do the princess royal family aspect justice. So I think that that is a big aspect that people will walk away from this show with. We had a lot of fundraisers geared towards helping us get ready for our transition to the stage. We utilized a lot of online fundraising methods. We raised a total of about $3,000 that all went towards the development of our new logo, which was done by a great graphic designer from the Philippines, as well as participation fees and other production things. But since we have launched into our creative process, a lot of our expenses have come from out of pocket. So, if you would like to find out any more information about how you can contribute or invest or donate or just be a part of what it is that we're trying to build with Something Like a Fairy Tale, you can reach us at www.somethinglikeafairytale.com. We are also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all of which you can access from our website. Something Like a Fairy Tale is my first show, and I think that it's a great eye-opening experience and a beautiful night out at the theater. And I know not only me, but my entire cast would appreciate you guys coming out and telling your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends to come out and see our show. It's family friendly, it's lighthearted, and it's truthful. And it's everything that I think that a night out at the theater should be. Hope to see you there.
I felt it in his bone. He had this one show, and I said, Lawrence, come here. And he was like, don't, no, I got to go on stage because he was in the show. And he was practicing so hard, and the little boy cried because the little instructor lady, I don't know what they call them back in the high schools, but the instructor lady, she took him out, and he was just, this boy was distraught. And that's when I knew at that moment, right then, that day, that night, after he stopped crying, I knew he was going to be a star, because everything that he did after that was just so...